Greetings, today's video is going to be a review of the Canyon Grail. So the particular model that I have is the Canyon Grail CF SL 8.0 SL. There are a lot of letters to remember. So yeah, this one retails for £2,549. I've been using it for around a month, so I wanted to kind of give you my impressions of it. So the Grail is Canyon's first gravel bike, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first question that everyone asks about this bike is the bars. What is going on with the bars? What are they like? What's the reason for them? How do they feel? Do they work? What is going on? So I think we should get straight to it. So the bars. Canyon calls this their hover bar because there are two. They've also been called like double-decker bars as well. And what they say is the top bar has got a fair amount of flex in it, so that when you're kind of riding on the hoods or just on the tops, when you're going over uneven surfaces, that is able to flex and reduces vibration and chatter and just general unpleasantness in your hands. The bottom bar is a lot stiffer, so that when you're descending or going over uneven surfaces again, you have got a lot more control. So, does it actually work? I found that, yeah, I actually really liked how it felt, how it performed, and there was definitely a reduced amount of vibration coming through that. And I live in Greater Manchester. There are a fair few potholes on our road, so even on the roads I could feel a massive difference straight away. When you took that off-road onto gravel, it just felt really soft, really like less rigid than you would have obviously if you're just on a road bike with regular bars. So I did really like that. The only thing that I didn't like, there are a few downsides to it. So the thing that I didn't like about it is when you're on the drops there, can you recommend that you kind of thumbs are on the bottom bar, which I found really kind of quite awkward. And I think it's just because I'm not used to it, and it is a new kind of hand position for your hands on this bar. So I find that quite odd. I also think that if you've got really small hands, you would struggle to kind of grab the brakes if you're in that position. Also, I do really like riding in the drops generally. And I felt like the actual drop length of the bar wasn't long enough. I feel like it could have done with being a good centimetre and a half longer, so that you've got more kind of position for your hands. So yeah, the other downside to it, yes, it looks beautiful, it looks sleek, it just looks so nice. However, the practicality of it I don't think is there. The actual mount for Garmin or Wahoo is underneath the bottom bar. So you would have a mount that comes out there, and the issue that I find with that is if you're bike packing for a couple of days, where would you put your front roll bag? So you can't have a Garmin mount or your Wahoo mount and a front roll bag. So I find that's really counterintuitive, because that's what this bike is all about. It's about adventure, and yeah, not a big fan of that. Also with the bar, I've just remembered one more thing. You can't actually mount any of your regular mounts on it because the bars are flat, so that is a slight niggle for me. I basically just had to like strap my Garmin mount to it, which it wasn't that secure, so that was not too great. So it's got some really good points and a couple of not so good points. So now the bars are out of the way, let's talk about the other contact points. So saddle. The saddle actually came with a Physique Aliante. I do not like that saddle at all, so I swapped it for Specialized Mimic. But the actual seat post itself I found worked really well. It's got kind of like a splayed design to kind of, again, reduce vibration and reduce kind of just road noise and gravel noise, I guess. And I felt that did work, so really comfortable seat post. Let's talk about the tyres. So these are the Schwalbe G1 tyre. I really like these tyres. I felt they are tubeless as well. I felt like they had enough grip, but also they felt quite fast. And just, yeah, very comfortable. These are 40mm, the actual bike will take 42. Canyon have said that they didn't want to make the bike be able to take any wider because they felt that would compromise kind of speed, and they wanted it to be a fairly fast gravel/road bike. So yeah, really like that. So what else have we got to talk about? This is my main gripe with this bike, is the gearing. This is the SRAM Force 1x, so it's 42 at the front, 1042 at the back, and I didn't get on with it. And I think maybe it's because I'm just used to Shimano, but I would have loved this with Shimano on it. Canyon do some of their Grail bikes with Shimano, and I would have absolutely preferred that. what I found with this is when you were kind of shifting into a lower gear to climb, the way that it works, I just didn't like it. So basically with Shimano, when you're shifting into a lower gear, when you get into your lowest gear, it will not shift anymore. However, with this system, when you're shifting into the lowest gear, when you get to the lowest gear and you click again trying to find a lower gear because you're struggling up a climb, it goes into a harder gear, and I do not like that at all. A couple of times when that did happen, I actually stopped pedaling because I just lost momentum. So yeah, not a fan of that. But yeah, I think if it had Shimano, I would like it a lot more. Also, I found that I don't know, I just felt like there wasn't enough gears for me. I felt like I would have preferred the actual regular Shimano, oh little dog, like system with obviously with a front derailleur and 2 chain rings. But I understand why they've put this on, because obviously if you're getting loads of mud and loads of dirt in it, you're not going to get that clogged up as much. So I understand why people would want it, but for me personally, I'm not a great fan of it. So yeah. Also, one thing I need to mention about what I did really like about this is the actual braking system, the hydraulic brakes. They were insane. They were so good. We went down some really steep descents and really cobble descents as well, and the brakes just performed really well. So I did like that about it, just not the particular gearing section of it. Talk about the bike as a whole. The medium frame in this bike comes in at 8.5 kilos. This is a small, so it's even lighter. And I was actually really taken aback when I first got this bike at how light it is. It feels super light, and I was really impressed with that, especially because it's got disc, especially because it's got really wide tyres, and it just felt like it looks like it would be heavy, and it is not. It is very light, so I really like that about it. So as a whole, I have really enjoyed riding it. I felt like it definitely dampened a lot of vibration. It was really good on-road and off-road. And also it was really good on the ice. I've not ridden it today, obviously, in this. But one of my friends, Johnny, who is like so competent at riding, we went and it was icy, it was slippy, it was off-road, and he took it and was just going, it just went everywhere on it. And I think to me that made me realise, God, this bike is really capable of a lot more than I can physically allow myself to do. So it is a really good all-round bike for a lot of different adventures and a lot of different terrain, so I actually did really like it. So yeah, all in all, I liked it. But let me know your thoughts about it. Let me know what you thought of what you think of the bars. Let me know what you think about it as a whole, what you like, what you don't like about it. So yeah, I think that is it for this video. I hope you found that helpful and useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Farewell.